Bonjour mes élèves. Oh, je suis contente de vous voir. Je m'appelle Basia Hoffman. I would love you to get a book like this so you can write down things. J'aimerais que vous achetiez un petit bouquin, un livre, pour écrire. Okay? So we're going to continue on. Those of you who are just joining us, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And for those who have continued, I'm so glad to see you. And we're going to have some fun. We are learning the first few lessons, vocabulary. Today it's exciting. We get to have 2 verbs. And we will share it, the verb être, to be, and the verb avoir, to have. And there's some little interesting things that are very different when we say English and French. That's why you can't oftentimes translate literally directly into a language, because it doesn't work. And I'll give you an example of that. But anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Alors, we've learned so many things these past lessons. You should be able to have confidence and speak a little bit. Please write comments. Those of you who email, thank you so, so much. And I've given my email address. And again, I will give it because sometimes you have personal things you want to discuss, and that's fine in French. But I'm delighted you've even done that. And you can comment, those of you who want to. Please feel free to do so. I would love to hear back from you. You can reach me at a Gmail account, and that would be beginners French Basia Hoffman @gmail.com. Beginners French Basia Hoffman @gmail.com. Thank you. So now we're going to go on, and we're going to tell about the verbs. It's going to be a shorter lesson today. And next week we'll go into the negative, how you say something and reverse it. Ne pas will be introduced. We will do a bunch of stuff, and then there'll be a review. So take your time. Just get familiar with what you've learned. This is beginner's conversational French. So you know, we usually don't have written. This is just for those who have books and those are following along. It's important to do that. And you can do this anytime because you can rewind and play and rewind and play. And practice makes perfect. Okay? Pratiquer. Ok. Alors, là, être, to be. I am, je suis. I am, je suis. I am. Tu es, you are. This is informal singular. Informal singular. Il est, elle est. He is, she is. Nous sommes, we are. Plural. Nous sommes, nous, we are. Vous êtes, vous êtes. You are. Formal, plural. Vous êtes, you are. Formal, plural. Ils sont, they are. Elles sont. Il is always masculine. Elle is always feminine. So there you have it. Ils, elles sont, they are. For conversation, which is marvelous. Conversations start by questions. Last lesson you learned 3 ways of asking a question. Statement with raising up the last word. That is a question. And est-ce que, which is 3 words, but we just say est-ce que was another way. You can review the lesson before for that. But this is, I'm tired. How do you say I'm tired? Je suis fatigué. Oh, je suis fatigué. You try it. Je suis fatigué. Je suis fatigué. Good. Then you have, she is happy. Elle est heureuse. Elle est heureuse. She is happy. Elle est heureuse. How would you, in conjugating here, we conjugate now the verb. How would you say, I am happy? Let's go to I am. You now know heureuse is happy, right? Right. So let's go to I am. What does it say? Je suis. So how would you say I am happy? Je suis heureuse. If you're a man watching this, you would say heureux. Female, it's heureuse. Okay? Masculine, feminine. All right. And then we're French. Nous sommes français. Oui. How do you say I am French? Je suis française. Maintenant means now. I always say maintenant when I continue. You are happy. Tu es, if I know you really well, it's the familiar tu. Tu es heureuse. Let's go now, and you can play with this. Have confidence, you can, and you can speak it. So have confidence in that. The verb avoir is to have. To have. So we start. I have. J'ai. J'ai, I have. Familiar, you. You have. Tu as. Tu as. He has, she has. Il a. Elle a. You should be now feeling very comfortable with the il and the elle, definitely. Nous avons, we have. We have, nous avons. You have, formal singular. Vous avez. Vous avez. Voilà. They have, which is plural. Ils, which is masculine. Elles ont. And elles ont, because you have a diphthong here. Ils ont, elles ont. Okay? So here you have the conjugation of I have. Now, he has a meeting. Il a un rendez-vous. Il a un rendez-vous. Il a un rendez-vous. He has a meeting. Il a un rendez-vous. Do you have a cell phone? That's a good question. Avez-vous un portable? Avez-vous un portable? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Vous avez combien de frères et sœurs? Vous avez combien de frères et sœurs? This is where it gets interesting. I find it always fascinating. Is in English we say, I am hungry, correct? I am hungry. What's wonderful is, in French, it's not that way. In French, it's not I am, which would be I am, because in English, I am hungry, je suis, but not in French. In French is I have hunger, not I am hungry. In French, I have hunger, which would mean j'ai faim. J'ai faim. There's a lot of those that come as we learn a little bit more. You'll find out a little bit more as you put things in your book and you look at this and you organize it. Okay? So here we go. I'd like you to repeat after me. Je suis. Je suis. Tu es. Tu es. Il est. Elle est. Nous sommes. Good. Vous êtes. Ils sont. Elles sont. And that's the conjugation for être, to be. Let's do again avoir, to have. J'ai. J'ai. I have. Tu as. Tu as. You have. Informal. When you say tu, you know the person. You know that vous is formal, and tu is informal. Il a, elle a. He has, she has. We have is nous avons. Nous avons. Nous avons. You have, singular, formal, is vous avez. Go ahead, say it. Vous avez. Good job. Good job. For those of you that are actually going right back to back. Good job. Vous avez, and then ils ont, plural, ils ont, elles ont, they have. Ils ont, elles ont. This is what we're learning. We'll go over the numbers quickly, and we'll see if we can get through the alphabet, just for practice. But we will build on this. This was very necessary because most of your sentences is être or avoir, most. And you'll be learning verbs as we continue to go that you can really use for conversation. So you know all the other conversations here. This is not today so much conversation as a conjugation. And then you can look at this and the conversation parts, you can review and try that. So let's do the numbers. Are you ready? We're going to do it together. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 et 10. Keep going with that. And remember the deux, is always a difficult one. Like you're hit, and then you refine it. Remember the mouth? Very small. Very, very small mouth. Okay? Un is when you have un masculine, une feminine. It's right there on the board. It's right there. I've left it up for you. Trois is also remember the R's. R. So it's R, it's behind the throat. And there's some nasals sounds. Quatre, you've got the R again at the end. Quatre. Voilà. Cinq, facile. Facile means easy. Facile. Cinq. Six, facile. Six. Sept, easy also. Sept. Huit. You have to kind of put them out. Huit. Neuf, neuf. 10. Okay, and we go through A to Z again we do it as a review. Okay, again, alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, G, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, difficult one to say, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I invite you to do this as much as you can for the sounds in your ear. Granted, there are certain letters, I'm looking at the board, there are certain letters, the U. Again, you're hit, but then you refine it, U. R. Again, the R. U is always a good thing to work on. U, like U. You know you get it when you go U. Just it flows, and the more you practice, the better it is. So we did this lesson, être et avoir. We're going to start to now build phrases. I know I'm speaking a lot in English, but now we'll just try for me to speak in French for a minute as I close out and I say to you, moi, me, je m'appelle Basia Hoffman et à la prochaine fois. Au revoir mes élèves. À la prochaine fois.